Hello anybody, I am Alpaca Patrol, and this is Paranautical Activity. I am here joined by Mike Malbeck and Travis Fenning, the developers of Paranautical Activity, and we're going to do a little interview for you. How you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Fantastic. Got fresh pizza in my stomach. I'm ready to roll.
Oh, that's wonderful. I had some pizza earlier.
I have my beer. I'm good. Let's rock.
Nice. All right. Well, then, why don't we just jump right into the questions then? Can you guys give us just a brief overview of what Paranautical Activity is?
Paranautical Activity is a roguelike first-person shooter. The shorthand I've been using to describe it is very much like Doom meets Binding of Isaac or Painkiller meets Spelunky. But Doom meets Binding of Isaac is probably the most apt comparison.
Mm-hmm. As sort of an idea, how long have you guys been working on the project so far?
We started it as a sort of like holiday break from our other project in December, and then we just never went back to our other project.
That's pretty funny.
This one was just going too well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks pretty good so far. How did you guys get started in actually developing games for the PC?
I taught myself programming like way back when I was in high school, and I always kind of knew I wanted to make games, but I never really took it seriously because I could never find like a proper artist to work with. Everyone I would work with would work for like a week, and then they'd be like, "Oh, this is work. I got to do this. I got a personal life stuff." So I never really took off. And then eventually I found Travis on some random website, and he was serious about it. I was serious about it, and we are making it work.
Huh. Yeah, well, my next question was going to be, how did you two meet? But apparently through some sort of...
The CL crew,
was it
brother.
Craigslist?
The CL crew.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I was for like 2 years, I was looking for artists on like regular game development forums, and I was having no luck. So I was like, you know what? Let's hit up Craigslist. Let's see if I find something other than a rapist. And here I am with something other than a rapist.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, especially important fact about Travis: not a rapist.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, that's a fair
I have my
point.
suspicions.
Mystery. It'll always
So
remain a mystery.
when did you guys actually meet on Craigslist? When exactly did you guys actually meet on Craigslist?
2-ish years ago. It was around this time 2 years ago. So, yeah, 2-ish.
Okay, that's cool. Actually, Travis, so how long have you been actually making art for video games?
2 years or so. I have no...
Oh, okay, so since you guys met.
Yeah, I was looking for a career change when I got on Craigslist, and I've always been looking at, like, I'd go onto the Blizzard site, and I'd keep eyeballing the work at Blizzard link, eyeball it, and I was always, you know what, I would definitely be down for doing something like that. Came across his ad, and I was like, you know what, screw it. The original project was a 2D side scroller, so I know Photoshop very, very well, so that was easy for me. I was like, yeah, how hard can that be, and then we decided to say, forget 2 dimensions, let's go to 3 dimensions, and everything changed.
Yeah, just add an extra dimension and everything is way better. Actually, out of curiosity, coming from Photoshop experience, did you have any experience in modeling in 3D?
Nope, not a single bit. I think one time when I was younger, I opened 3D Studio Max once on a computer, and I looked at it for like 2 or 3 minutes and said nope and closed it. I'm like, I'm all set, because I've been using Photoshop since conception, since computers could actually handle any kind of art or music. I've been doing it. I've had like Commodore 64 and everything. So finally, when it got to that point, but yeah, just did it for this adventure right here. That's it. So for as long as we've been working on games, I've been doing it. However long that is.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, considering this is your first project, the art is pretty darn cool. Actually, how did you guys decide on sort of the voxel-based art style that the game uses?
We didn't decide.
Well,
there was no bargaining apparently from the beginning. I'm like, so how are we gonna do this? And he's like, voxels, and I'm like, you mean squares? And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, really? Come on. I really wasn't down with it at first. I bitched about it for the first 2 weeks. And then I started to get the hang of it.
Yeah, well, because we were struggling. We kept coming up with projects that were too ambitious that we just couldn't finish. So I figured we'd come up with a project that was simple in like design and also simple artistically, so we wouldn't get bogged down. Because I mean, if all of these enemies were like high poly, animated, ragdolled, and all that, it would take so much longer. Like you probably wouldn't be half as far into the game that we are today.
That's true for sure.
True.
So it was mostly a time decision, and also I think it's a really cool art style. Like I'm digging like Cube World and Vox and all those games that have that sort of art style.
Mm-hmm. I definitely consider voxels to be a way of the future. Although I've from talking with you guys before, I've heard that the game actually isn't in voxels, is it?
Yeah, it's got like the 3D QB art style, but it's not real voxels. It's like 3D Dot Game Heroes used fake voxels. They just used it for the aesthetic of like the 3D pixel art look.
It's completely an art choice. Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, they're like an empty Rubik's cube. And then I extrude all the faces from there. I basically start with a square, depending on what I'm making. But like, I do some crazy stuff, like use smaller ones. Like if you see some of these models up front, the faces are pretty detailed considering it's all 90-degree angles. Took a little bit. Took a little bit to learn how to get it to look decent. I mean, you can see the natural progression through the enemies. You can tell which ones were made first. I can.
That's interesting. Are you guys planning on going back and remaking any of the older ones?
Nope.
Okay.
No, they were actually some of those guys.
So, just that.
Some of those guys were made with actual cubes. They all had like 6 faces, and that wasn't working. I went inside those models and deleted what I could out of the inside of them. But those were the first models, and they were made with cubes, actually. The models after, like, Jim was made that way, and Gilead was made that way. I think, yeah, and that's it. Those two, and then we realized, like, it was going to be bad if I kept doing it that way, so I decided to totally change the way it was done and take an empty box and just extrude it out that way, because they're actually hollow.
Interesting. Well, actually, you guys mentioned Doom, Isaac, Painkiller, Spelunky. What inspirations, besides that, game-wise, whether that's in other forms of media, did you draw from to make Paranautical Activity?
Well, the only things like in the concept phase that I was thinking about was like, what if Binding of Isaac was a Doom-style first-person shooter? And actually, the original idea was to make it with a Doom-style engine. And I was actually not even going to involve Travis at all. I was just going to have it be a little side project. And then Travis was like, yo, you're trying to keep this project from me. So I was like, all right, if I'm going to have Travis on this, we can take this further. We don't have to use that totally old-school Doom style. We can take this into the 3D and have the voxel art style. And it sort of evolved from there. So other than like the initial like concept of Binding of Isaac plus Doom, there wasn't many games that really heavily influenced it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems unique in style and gameplay, really. And also, it's sort of a genre that Doom, sort of painkiller, fast-moving, quick-shooting genre isn't really explored that much anymore.
Yeah, I was really surprised. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, they still make like games like this all the time. And then I was looking around a couple weeks ago, and I was like, there's nothing, absolutely not a single game. Like, the only 2 that have been released in the last, like, 5 years are Rack and Retro Booster or something. And neither of those even got finished. They're both still in alpha, and they just got abandoned, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I've even heard of recently is, like, was it Painkiller HD that came out, and it had, it was just a couple of levels from the first 3 Painkillers or something like that. So... yeah, it's not something that that people generally see, and especially not when mixed with a roguelike. Actually, speaking to sort of that sort of mentality of the genre and all that, how challenging do you guys intend Paranautical Activity to actually be?
Somewhere between extremely and very.
Somewhere between. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I mean, I think that the early game, like, what exists now is pretty representative of, like, what the first 5 levels are going to be like. and it's just going to get harder up to level 13. So, very, very hard. I mean, level 5 now is ridiculously hard, so I can't imagine 8 levels later. It's going to be tough. It's probably the hardest part about the game is to figure out how to make it harder.
Right.
But we've got some tricks.
I can imagine that could be difficult.
That's funny.
Out of curiosity, you mentioned that you were going to use a Doom engine originally. You guys, I think, landed on the Unity engine. Why did you choose Unity over other engines that are free and available?
Well, back when we were writing our own engines, some game developer that I know just basically hit me up and he was like, "Dude, you're writing your own engine. You're wasting your time. What are you doing with your life?" Because I mean, we were having so much trouble with like importing assets, getting everything to render properly, optimization problems, and so we just decided, you know what, we're going to use an engine, and we spent a couple weeks researching it, and Unity's really the only engine that really fit all the criteria that we were looking for. Like, it's got a great license, so we don't have to worry about them trying to screw us from the business side. It's got perfectly capable power in terms of like rendering and everything, and it's super easy to use too.
Okay, well that's interesting. Because let's see. Okay, here we go. Last year's Hotline Miami brought up an interesting point metaphorically in asking whether game mechanics or story are more important, falling heavily on the side of mechanics. Which do you guys think is more important in a fun or successful game, mechanics or story?
I think Travis might disagree with me, but I'd say definitely mechanics. Because video games are interactive, and if you're trying to tell a non-interactive story with cutscenes and stuff, you're just not making full use of the system. Like, when I'm playing a game like Skyrim, or a game like Minecraft, or a game like even Left 4 Dead, the coolest things that happen in those games are the things that arise just naturally through different things interacting. Like running through a door, shutting the door behind me, and a zombie breaking it down, and then there's another one in the closet. Like, these things are so much more interesting than just watching a 5-minute cutscene in Metal Gear Solid or something.
Yeah, I disagree with that to a certain extent, not completely, but I do. I mean, I think that you can balance both of them. If you're good, you can do it. You don't even. I mean, they used to tell stories with silent film. You know what I mean? So there is really no. Those things probably shouldn't even be compared. I think if done well enough, they should be a given. You know, and we just haven't really found a balance with that kind of stuff. So with this kind of game, who needs it? You know what I mean? You're here, kill shit, and you're done. You know, and you have fun with it. That's what this game was about. So I didn't even attempt to give it a story or even argue with him about it. I'm just like, whatever. You know, how do we get onto the boat? All I want to know is how we get onto the boat and what happens when we're done. The only cutscenes that possibly will happen in this game would be the intro, so you can see the boat that you come up to and get on it, and then the outro, whereas you get back off that boat because you don't want to hang out. You know what I mean? That's it. You don't know the dude's name or anything like that. You're just like, all right, I'm floating for some stupid reason, and I'm going to get on this. Oh, shit, I need to get off this. And float away. So there you go.
Yeah, actually, I was actually curious. What is the general, like, I mean, obviously, as you said, there's kind of no story, but what's sort of the maybe lore or story progression through the levels?
The backstory.
The premise, yes, exactly, yeah.
It's pretty, like, standard stuff. Like, you're, like, floating around on a life raft, I think, and then you see this ship, and you're like, oh, I'm saved, and then you get on the ship, and then there's monsters everywhere, and you kill the monsters. And then you get off, and then you're back on the lifeboat. Right back where you started.
Yeah, pretty much, but you aren't hanging out with demon Nazis and things like that.
Yeah, I actually, you mentioned when we were talking earlier that it is supposed to be a Nazi submarine or a Nazi warship of any kind.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a Robo Hitler boss at any point?
That's a great idea.
That's a pretty awesome idea. He might get rusty in the ocean.
That's a good point. Yeah. Probably not the most efficient use of Hitler or robots.
That's rusty Robo Hitler, even better.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's alliteration. It works. I think I should keep it. Anyway,
That's funny. Rusty Robo Hitler. I'm gonna log that one.
Jot it down.
Yep.
Straight to the whiteboard.
Credit will be given. Credit will be given.
So nice. Okay, fantastic.
That alpaca at the game.
Exactly. I gotta get the evil alpaca boss. It's
Prancing
happening.
Alpaca of death.
Prancing alpaca.
It would be terrifying. I mean, the
It's just
most
gotta
terrifying
prance, man.
aspect, the most terrifying aspect of it is like, what? There are alpacas in the ocean. You know that
The
that
realization
like,
that alpacas can swim is really—it's the whole point of the game.
right? Exactly. It's
It's
the
an
whole
educational game, really.
very important facet to the gameplay.
Funded
for
by
sure.
National Geographic.
So, how close to actually a finished product do you consider the game right now?
Right now, most of what we're focused on is adding content, and then once all the content is done, we're going to add like an unlock system and proper more menus and stuff. But in terms of time frame, my best guess is around June. I think we can finish it. Like we've got a huge patch plan that's going to put like a quarter of all of the content that we need to have in the game in there. And we're hoping to do that in a month. So if we can pull that off in a month, then I think we'd be safe to say around June it'll be out there, at least very close.
Interesting. Are you guys working on any kind of specific deadline, or is it just a personal, goal?
For the whole game or for this patch?
Well, both actually.
I don't like to say deadlines because when we give ourselves deadlines, that usually means that I'm just going to not do anything until like the day before and then work for like 48 hours straight.
This isn't high school, Mike. It's not
But,
high school.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we have a specific deadline. We don't have any date set for either the patch or the game. It's very much a when it's done, it'll be out there thing. Once we
Right.
get closer, though, we might put out a proper deadline. Like once we have more experience of producing this kind of content, and we have a better idea of exactly how long it should take.
Okay. Actually, you mentioned the unlock system. How do you intend the unlock system to actually work?
I haven't actually given it much thought until like just yesterday when we were talking about it. But I think it's going to be pretty similar to Binding of Isaac. Like, you know, you complete objectives and then you unlock stuff. Like, you beat the whole game with the trident, you'd unlock this. If you beat it without picking up any items, you unlock this. If you, like, kill one of every enemy in the game, kill, like, 20 enemies at a time. Stuff like that to, you know, unlock items and guns and maybe even characters, because we're thinking about having a character select as well.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. What actually? How would characters select work? I actually have a question here. That have you considered unlockable characters or perhaps customizable characters? In the game?
I was thinking about like how everyone, well not everyone, but a lot of people do challenge runs in the Binding of Isaac. I think it'd be really cool to have that kind of functionality built in, where you can like check a bunch of boxes and say I want to start with these items. You could like check whether or not you want item rooms to spawn and all that. So that'd be a cool feature. And in terms of characters, we'd probably have relatively like themed characters. We might have a hunter character that would start with a crossbow and maybe a speed upgrade, but have really low health, or a tank character that would have like the shotgun and a ton of health but really low movement speed.
That'd be neat, yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's that's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's something that I've like thought of would be great. Just how people use those custom challenge runs in the Binding of Isaac. It'd be great for that to be automatically implemented into the game. It would probably add, I'm sure, a lot of longevity to its play. I would think.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the goal.
So actually, Travis, how as the artist, how much input or work do you have on any given object, item, or enemy in the world?
How much input?
Like gameplay wise.
Oh.
0. Absolutely not.
Yeah, right? Seems like that sometimes.
He just draws the pictures and he obeys.
Yeah. Basically, it starts out like I'm gonna make something, and then while I'm making him, I decide what he should do for an attack, and then just present it to Mike and say, well, this is where it should come from. If you have any other ideas for it, have at it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's only some of the ones I hand him the model and say, really don't know how this thing's gonna attack. So he'll go through and just do what he thinks is best. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's got you running right now in the game. You know, with bombas jumping at you and stuff. It's like we just kind of wing it, I guess, would be the best question, the best answer, I mean, and say, all right, here you go. What do we do? So if I get a little input, I get a little input. Because ultimately, I mean,
that's pretty cool.
I don't touch the code. Don't want to see it. Don't care.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, right.
No one should see that awful code.
Dude, can you imagine all the times I would have to, like, you know how I type, right? Like, I'm constantly flipping letters and shit like that. It would just be so monotonous for me to try to encode anything at all.
Sometimes I think you type with your face, man.
Sometimes
the typos you make.
It depends on how many beers I've had. Usually, probably towards the later ends of the day, it gets worse, I'm sure. And I apologize to anyone who communicates with me through text. Just try to decipher. You can figure it out. Right.
That's I actually I completely forgot what I was gonna say, so I just thought that you guys should know that.
I think you were gonna say something about how Paranautical Activity is the best game you've ever played. Something like
yeah,
that.
it was something along those lines. But there was some sort of condition about some evil alpaca boss. I don't really know.
Oh yeah,
the
what it
alpaca
was,
boss.
Yeah. Actually. Well, I mean, if it had that, it would be sort of the greatest thing. But
game of the year every year.
Right? Yeah, obviously, yeah. But how many weapons or items do you guys actually want to release in the final game? And I suppose you guys consider the guns and items separate.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't. That's one of the few things we haven't had a set number. Like, we know how many levels we want. We know approximately how many bosses we want. But in terms of items, we're not sure. We're trying to add 5 or 10 with every patch. So, I mean, right now we have like 30 items, I'd say. Maybe less, maybe 20-ish. I'd say we want to get at least 50 to 100 items in.
Mm-hmm.
And probably at least 10 guns. We've got a lot of
Okay.
ideas for cool guns, actually, lately. From user feedback and just random, thought.
Cool. That actually segues into my other question, which was, how much do you guys value user feedback, community interaction, on the development of the game?
I try to take it on like a case-by-case basis. Like, if someone says something, I'm not going to immediately say, all right, I'm going to give this like an 8 out of 10 in terms of weighting that decision. I'll look at it and then I'll think of it like from the point of view of a designer and a programmer. I think, all right, can I implement this kind of thing? Would it be fun? Et cetera, et cetera. So, like, we get a lot of really stupid like feedback or suggestions, but we get a lot of really cool stuff too.
How much of that has been actually implemented into the gameplay?
Did I lose you guys?
Oop.
No, I think we
no.
might have lost him. The stream froze. Uh-oh.
Should we keep it rolling? Yeah, we should probably keep it rolling.
Beth. I think he's back. No?
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we go.
Yeah, internet died. Sorry about that. Is stream still up?
It was choking on its own dick for a while there.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, my internet definitely died. You guys are still recording, I hope?
Oh god.
Oh, that's too much.
I wonder if they heard that.
Yeah, it should be still streaming. So yeah, you guys are still recording, yes?
Yes, we didn't stop.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You didn't stop? Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know, my internet's being it just turned shitty just before this started. Like, I was watching a stream all day, and then, 15 minutes before this started, it stopped being so good, so.
It's that time of day, too.
Sorry about that. Huh?
It's that time of day. People get home from work or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And,
Yeah, that's a
start
good
hammering bandwidth, dude. Some more choking on its own dick.
What? Do you guys remember what we were... Just remember what question we were on?
We were just talking about user feedback.
Okay, alright, yeah. God, I don't know when it cut out. That's
Oh.
kind of a bummer.
I
You know
think
what?
we answered the user feedback question.
We did? Okay.
I think so.
All right.
I mean, I said the words before it started to, do what it did.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, then that's on video. Whatever. If you recorded your reaction, then it's there. I'll just edit it later. Anyway, we'll get back into it now. So hold on a second. Hey guys, sorry about that. That might be an awkward cut. My internet cut out. But anyway, we're back with the interview. So we were talking about user feedback, which kind of ties into sort of just public image or public reception. Does bad criticism ever get to you guys as sort of a developer and artist?
Not really, because most of the criticism is really fucking stupid. But
ridiculous.
Like sometimes it upsets me more when people shit on Travis's work than when they shit on my work. Like if someone says, "Oh, this game's boring," or "Oh, I hate this idea," or "It looks like Minecraft" or something, I don't really care. But if someone says like, "Oh yeah, all the textures on the walls are ugly and all these enemies are so basic, it looks like it's all programmer art," and I'll be like, "Damn it, Travis works hard on this."
I appreciate that you going in my defense. Sometimes, I mean, we don't really say much, respond to that kind of stuff normally, but we definitely talk to each other about it and say all these nice things that we would like to actually say to the person, because that's a good way for us to vent. But Mike actually let somebody have it the other day.
Just talk about them behind their backs.
He let somebody have it the other day.
Who was that?
I don't remember, but you were pissed.
I've been snapping at people a lot lately. Actually, I'm really like. I see how more notable game developers sometimes just like tell people to fuck off, because even with our small following and modest success, there are people that I'm just like, you know what, choke on a dick.
Yeah. Duh. I'm gonna do that every
that
time
part of the
that.
interview was sadly off camera. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, actually, what has been the most difficult part of being a game developer besides the criticism?
Getting on the Steam.
Besides the criticism from people, is
the green light process. That's the worst.
Hearing crap from, for sure. Hearing crap from people that I know though is annoying. Like people telling me that I don't have a real job and shit. It gets old.
Show them back.
I can see that.
Show 'em a
Yeah,
back.
actually, what about the Steam greenlight process?
Greenlight is such a broken system. It's awful. I seriously don't know how people get through there.
I know, because people just be
So
dicks and downvote for stupid reasons, like being on Reddit. You know what I mean?
yeah, how much of
Greenlight comments are probably worse than YouTube comments. I didn't think it was possible, but
that's pretty rough.
I'm like
yeah.
99% sure. It's awful. Even the nice comments are idiotic. I don't think an intelligent thing has ever been said on Greenlight.
Steam tards.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Trademark.
They're like 10
Sounds
years
pretty rough.
old.
I mean, I heard that they're trying to fix it.
Yeah, I saw an interview, an article or something the other day that said they were gonna like revamp the system, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely a good thing. Obviously, considering hearing it from the other side saying how terrible the process is, that sounds pretty rough.
Yeah.
And getting back to sort of more the gameplay than the sort of the macro management of the game. What sort of future mechanic or perhaps like gameplay element are you guys most excited to implement?
The final boss.
I think, well, in terms of mechanics, we haven't really, we don't plan for much to shake things up that much. But like the meta level stuff, like the unlocks and stuff, and the character select, I'm pretty excited for that. To see how it changes how people play the game, and just makes that like one more run kind of thing, the staying power of the game stronger. Because you actually have an objective other than just get to the end of the game.
And at playing your own game, how would you guys consider yourselves skill-wise against other people that you've seen play?
I'm the best in the world. I don't know. Green's actually getting really good at the game. He's consistently beating it. I think I'm still probably better than him, but because I played the game so much and I wrote all of the AIs, so I know exactly all the enemy patterns and stuff. So I'm naturally just fantastic at the game.
Oh. I think you're choking on a dick. Gut. I'm having too much fun. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, Travis is pretty awful at the game, though.
Oh man, I don't even come to the game. I get on the elevator. And open the door, and it's over. I've been playing a little bit more. I mean, if I had time to play it. I mean, it's like when I listen to my own. I don't listen to my own music. I've got multitudes of albums, and I don't listen to it. So it's kind of like the same thing with the video game. I don't play it. I play it to test it and stuff like that. It's not really quite my thing. I mean, I love Doom and stuff like that, so I can't really say it's not quite my thing. I really would just blame it more on the fact that I don't have a lot of time. And I see these objects all day, every day, you know what I mean? And spin them around. I want to look at something different, so I get on and play Dark Souls and get my ass kicked and enjoy
it. That's pretty funny to hear, actually. Well, actually, this was supposed to be a follow-up to that earlier question about the lore of the game, but I'm actually just curious. Are you ever going to get to see the deck of the ship?
Oh, boy.
Probably. Travis is thinking about doing, like, opening and closing cutscenes where you, like, see the ship from the outside. So if we can pull off the water and stuff, then yeah, for sure. You'll see the boat. Unless I'm mistaken and something has been dramatically changed.
No. No, I got the water down. We just haven't tested it, and we just gotta mesh it with the skybox, and it's good for a test. I'm gonna make the ship when I get a little bit of free time. I'm not gonna prioritize it by any means. You won't see that for a little while.
Yeah, because we got we've got enemies and items and stuff to add. So
yeah,
right.
When the core game is
done,
cinematics.
When the core game is done to the point where we can say, yeah, you'll have a hard time getting to where we're at with this game, and it'll buy us some time. Then I'll probably do that. I was working on it the other day, trying to get the water correct. But once that happens, I want the final battles to be done on the deck. You know what I mean? If we can pull it off, it'll be cool.
That could be really, really cool.
Yeah, so it'd be we can try our hand at doing some the lighting and stuff for the outside. You know what I mean? It's an entirely different scenario to light a room as compared to a lighting an entire environment as far as the camera can see. So it's going to take a little bit of tweaking for us. So we can't really prioritize something because it's an aesthetic, really. You know what I mean? It's not going to kill the game if you don't get out onto the deck. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's
like
sort
if it's
of flavor
in,
stuff.
people will see it and be like, "Oh, that's really impressive." But if it's not in, then people just, they won't miss what they don't know could have been.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I understand it's totally flavor stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely something that'd be cool to have.
I'm working on it. I'm working on
cool.
it. I'm definitely not giving up on it by any means.
Slacking.
Yeah, because our logical next step for trying to get something that looks decent in an environment for a game, our logical next step is to walk outside. You know what I mean? Instead of making, we've never done anything linear. We've always tried to do open world shit. Which Eris's landscape was beautiful. I loved that. I thought that was great. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that game.
Purple.
I love purple though. I love cool colors.
That was pretty cool.
I don't like hot colors at all. So you will probably see that as a theme through pretty much all of Code Average's games. I don't like brown shooters. I don't like earth tones. That's not what I like. This is an epitome of the stuff that I like right here. This looks like a rave.
We've used the blue and orange contrast in pretty much all of our games thus far.
And I think that
even the ones we haven't released.
I think that's going to be our signature. You're going to know. I mean, that's how I treat art. When I paint and stuff like that, you can tell that it was me that painted it. You know what I mean? And I want to translate that to the art in the game world so that you can say, wow, this looks like a Code Avarice game. And you will simply be able to feel that because of maybe the theme of the game and the colors that are being used.
Right. That actually sounds like very much like Introversion. I'm sorry, software, where you always know that it's their game because of the blue.
Yeah.
And all that.
They just released. Were they the ones that just released that trailer for the football kind of game?
No, that's for Frozen Synapse 2. Which is called like Frozen something or other?
Frozen End Zone or something?
Frozen End Zone, yes, that's it. Yeah, that looks really cool as well. But yeah. Yeah, actually, that's I was gonna mention that as well as one of my questions about choosing the color palette, but obviously you've already sort of described that. I'm glad to see that a game that is so perhaps dark have such vibrant colors. It really makes the gameplay experience more enjoyable, honestly.
We like pretty colors.
Exactly.
I
exactly. Pretty colors,
I like creepy shit too. The creepier it looks, the better. I mean,
You're a creepy man.
I can be.
That's true.
I can.
You could or could not be a rapist. So
Hey,
I told
you
you
know.
guys I was never gonna tell. I'd be more likely not.
Mystery
not
is
that's what
rape
makes it so
because, I mean,
suspicious.
I wouldn't be a rapist. I'd be more like a serial killer. That would be more entertaining for
You
me.
are you listening, FBI?
Yeah.
I've got his address, police officers.
Please, he made me do it. I didn't want to do this interview.
Hey,
He's
Mike.
standing behind me with a knife.
Hey, Mike. I have yours.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
You see? You see how that works?
I didn't even know you had my address.
I could
Actually-
Google Earth your ass, dude, and go zoom right in on your frickin' front door. And I'll be like,
Out of
"Fuck you,
curiosity,
let's-"
this is actually isn't a. Oh God!
Oh Jesus!
You just fall over?
I dropped a bunch of stuff on my desk. Sorry about
Holy
that. Out of curiosity, this actually isn't one of my questions, but have you guys ever met in real life?
Not yet. We just spoke on the phone for the first time like a month ago.
That's pretty
We're
funny.
strangers.
That is very odd, isn't it?
Are you actually? Are you guys planning on bringing the game to any conventions that are coming up?
Absolutely.
We almost went to PAX East, but we didn't. Because we thought it might not be worth it. We didn't have the money to make it work. But if we're still like promoting and or developing the game when PAX Prime comes around, then for sure.
We definitely will
Well,
be.
Adult Swim might take us to PAX Prime on their own because they took Super House of the Ninjas, I think.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah, actually, that was again. You guys are great for segues. You know that, because my other question was gonna be, how has been your experience with publishers and stuff, and your recent sort of success and all that going on. Steam release.
It's been good. I mean, our Steve G, our Adult Swim guy, he's a really cool guy. He's been very accommodating to our questions. And, you know, we got a really good deal from them. A really, really good deal, actually. And I was expecting, you know, the evil corporate masterminds to kind of try and take away our souls. But, you know, they're really cool guys. And totally dig what they're doing, helping out the indie scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Steve's getting pretty big, man. Steve's getting pretty big out there. Like
Yeah.
I've been watching his tweets and stuff.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, man. I mean, watch out for this dude. He's good. He's good people, man. For sure. They're reaching out.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, hopefully I see you guys out at PAX Prime. I'm planning on going there myself.
It's in Washington,
Well,
right?
I mean,
Is
even
it
if
in
we're not
Washington?
expoing, we're definitely going to be going. Yeah,
Seattle.
It's
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
definitely want to go,
Yeah.
regardless of expo or not expo. Just be a fun thing, you know, meet people, make connections.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely. All right. Well, I think unless you guys want to talk about anything specific that you personally want to explain about the game and the gameplay, I have run out of questions for the most part. So,
Cool.
anything that you guys want to say, perhaps about?
You know, just follow us on Twitter,
Yep.
buy our game,
Yeah, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well,
shit.
now, why don't you guys go ahead and plug your stuff? Tell us all where you can find the game to purchase, where you'll be able to find the game to purchase in the future, or what else that we could possibly do to help you guys out.
You can find our game and links to buy it at codeavarice.com. And follow us on Twitter at SpooterW and Melissa 3x3x3 or whatever.
Yeah. Where else? I'm trying to think where else. Watch out for us on Steam. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yes, coming to Steam and Gamersgate and other places soon.
Yeah, Gamersgate. That's right.
Gamersgate. That's cool.
We've been talking.
Yeah, those are cool guys too. Those are really nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
They're much more personable than Desura.
Yeah, I heard on Twitter you guys had some sort of a beef.
I sorted that out though.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I actually didn't know that it was so like a personal one-to-one experience of game developers talking to these publishing platforms or distribution platforms.
Well, yeah, because we don't have secretaries like the big studios. You know, it's us. We have to do everything, which is it's kind of like at this point. I can say right now that all of this stuff that we've been doing with you guys, you know, all these live streams and talking and stuff like that has taken chunks out of my work schedule. So I can see where it's going to get pretty freaking busy for us if this keeps going like this and escalating. Once Steam happens, it's going to get even more busy for us. Trying to be as personable as we are, which we won't stop doing, but making time to do this kind of stuff. You know, I could see how we would need somebody to deal with that Desura situation. You know, I can see where we would easily need a little bit of help at some point if this thing gets bigger than we had expected it to get, for sure. You know what I mean? Right now, it's amazing to watch it, but it's getting scary for me because I'm just like, holy shit! I spend so much time working on the game. And then the next question is, can we make something? I mean, if this game does that well, can we make something on the next game that can even compare to that? I mean,
yeah. Now people got expectations of us.
Yeah, we got.
You gotta live up to this.
We honestly got lucky with the idea. That hadn't been done. You don't find that very often. I mean, you have to search very difficult. It's very difficult to find something that hasn't been done in this world, especially in the music world. But he just came up with that idea, and when he told it to me, and he said, I looked, and I couldn't find anything that was like this. And I was like, well, damn, then we need to hit it. We need to hit it hard. And we did just that, just so we could be the first. Boom, fine. Now you've got your first-person roguelike, and damn it, we're responsible for it, and we're psyched about it. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's going to be the end of the video. Those of you in the stream chat, you guys can feel free to start asking questions to the developers here. And if you guys want to ask questions to the developers watching the VOD at home on my YouTube channel, feel free to follow both of them on Twitter, which the links will be down in the description for all this information for you. So that you could go check it out. And feel free to ask them. They're pretty personable guys on Twitter. And follow them and all that.
We're super cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, hopefully...
we have some codes, too.
We got some codes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Them at the beginning of the stream. Got 5 fresh out of the random number generator codes.
Cool. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to give that to the stream chat or the YouTube audience?
I'll give them to the stream.
Okay, cool. Well, see, that's what you get for missing the stream, YouTube viewers at home. Exactly.
You snooze, you lose. YouTube fans.
But you can pick up the game. It is only $6 right now. You can pick up the game at all the links down below. And anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, both of you guys. Would you like to say goodbye to the viewers at home?
Goodbye, viewers at home.
Goodbye.
You'll never know where Travis might be lurking. He may be in your closet.
Yes.
He may be just around that next corner.
He's Google Earthing you as we speak.
I'm out in your yard looking up at you through your window with a boombox.
All right. Anyway.
Playing.
Anyway,
playing
this
music
is
from Halloween.
Playing Careless Whisper.
Careless Whisper.
I feel like playing music from Halloween would sort of give you away, wouldn't it?
Not if I'm sneaky and lurk in the shadows.
You see a pair of hands sticking out of a bush holding the boombox up.
Yeah. Bushman, what's up?
That's pretty cool.
All right. We're done, right? We're done.
Anyway, yeah. Actually, it's
We're
funny.
rambling.
I tried to end this like a half an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Anyway, yeah. So obviously, cool guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the game and the gameplay. It is in alpha right now, but it will release on Steam in the future, and I will be covering the game more frequently on my channel. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. This is Alpaca Patrol signing out. Peace, fools.